Hello everybody, and welcome back to our recreation here with Jurgen Klopp and Borussia Dortmund of 2012-2013. Right, first thing to get out of the way, I have skipped past what I said last, and the main reason is I recorded the whole episode and the audio didn't work, so that's what the problem was with that. So yeah, unfortunately you missed these two games. They were wins. We had the same problems as before, so you didn't really miss too much, I don't think, really. Like, there were little tweaks to the tactic and me going through a few things, but I have been watching a lot more of Borussia Dortmund again between the episodes. And one thing I picked up on, I watched specifically the Borussia Dortmund versus Real Madrid game in the Champions League in the knockout stages. And what was really evident was Sven Bender was on the left central field role and Ilkay Gundogan was on the right. And Ilkay Gundogan in the build-up was deeper than Sven Bender. And if I was to put them in FM roles and responsibilities and duties, I would have gone Sven Bender, ball midfielder support, and Gundogan would have been either deep line playmaker support or women playmaker. But between those two, right? So that really did help set the idea of sort of what I was looking for, and I did have quite a lot with like roles, responsibilities of where to go with. And the problem with any recreation, right, is if you look at them in two different games, any team, they could look slightly different, you know. So it's generically what was you seeing? So for me, like, he was actually quite far ahead, which I don't mind. We can tweak this as we go, but I was actually quite happy with maybe I don't know really. We could start with that because there's still pivot roles. I think the Roman playmaker will still be 2 box to box. Hang on, if we take off, make sure that's not on, it could be that. But what's the difference between that and that? I want them to be 2 proper pivot players in the build-up, so we're going to go with that. Still not sure what's best out of this. But I think the one area I wasn't too happy with was this first. So I want to nail down the central fielders and pivots, and then we can re-go to everything else. Because there are lots of things I was looking at, and I was thinking back to the way that we've been playing, and in the final third, it looks quite good. The way that these two sort of break on the counter, the way the wingers can move at times, it shows glimpses of realism, which is good. It's this that I'm not liking, but it's quite hard to get them right because of the profile players they had for a start, which I think are just quite hard to replicate the movements. So that's what we're going to go with. We're going to go with the ball midfielder support. That could be a defend, but we're going to go with support. And I mean, to be fair, the Gundogan, it was like this almost a lot of the time. Maybe the back four would have it. He'd be off a different line to this midfielder, and he'd get off it, he'd get on the board, Gundogan, but then he'd go and happily support, and they'd both counter-press amazingly well. Like, they would just fly forwards and go and press somebody if they turned over the ball. So with that being factored in, I do want one of these on defend duty, if I'm honest. I really do. But if I had to pick one in that match, it would be that. It would actually be that, weirdly enough. So, but Gundogan wasn't. Let's hope this works the way it is. I mean, a couple of things we can change. He could become Roman playmaker, or he could become ball midfielder support, defend. So there's a couple of tweaks potentially there, but that gets us into flexible. Let's see how that goes. Let's see how that goes for a crucial game against Leipzig, and then our first knockout game against Ajax, incidentally, in the Champions League. And that's what we're going to focus on, really, in these episodes here. We're going to be the Champions League matches, really, because, I mean, we want to finish second in the Bundesliga if we can, but, I mean, this episode will be Leipzig and Ajax. Next episode will be probably Ajax and Augsburg in the semi-final of the Cup. That'll be probably what we'll do. Getting annoyed about the recreation, which is a good thing, because when I get annoyed is when I start to really hammer down, and I can do like a season's worth of improvements within a few games. But this is where we need to start, is here. But we started from a much bigger and better base than last time. That's what we have to reconsider. It's been harder to tweak because the tactics already was quite good, although it's really underperformed, if we're honest. Like, the defensive side has been just shocking, hasn't it? I've never been so unhappy, I don't think, with the tactics defensively. It's been infuriating, but disappointing as well. So we're going to maintain our trigger press there, but with counter press on, and everybody's just running around and pressing everywhere else. So we'll see how that goes for today's game. First team's out, no problems there. Go on, boys, let's go and get a win against Leipzig. Assistant manager says, pick up where you left off. Good. I'm looking at the two. I'm actually only looking at the pivots this whole time. So where's Basuma gone? He's gone quite high. I didn't even see the shot. I was looking at Basuma. I was just fixated on Basuma's position in there. Sorry, 1 second there. I don't know. I mean, we're on attacking mentality. That we could change that, but and Bellingham's fine there, because if they're going to put nobody back, they're going to flood the back line. That's okay, but you don't really want both of them. He's already supporting there. Like, Lodi is already there in that zone. You do not need to come in here. Like, one of these two needs to stay back. Do we change Lodi to a more defensive full-back role? Oh, then he's on the outside. This is annoying. What was near goal? What about hold position? There we go. I mean, like, Jesus Christ. Hang on, let's look at this again. So our pivot player has just decided he's going to absolutely gun it. This is the problem with the FM. It was like, how can I ask him to be like really aggressive at pressing in certain areas? But I know line of engagement's high, but our line of engagement's high for these two. But look at our CDM. Our CDM can't do that. He can't go. He can't go and do that. Basuma, you can't do that. And you can't do that. Jesus Christ! Right. We might have to play CDMs because the game recognizes those roles as also like eights, central fielders, right? Which are supposed to be pivots. So if he's a defender, he's going to have to be more than a deep line playmaker, I think, really. Let's give this a go and see what happens with Bremen playmaker and Bournemouth midfielder defend. Hopefully that stops him flying forwards and pressing. We'll see. Going to Borussia Dortmund, René Lodi to Pedri, to Lodi, to Pedri, to Bissouma. Let's see what Bissouma is doing. He's holding slightly better. In fact, I'd say a lot better there. I missed the header at the keeper. It was, I could see at the corner of my eye. Haaland gets it, plays out to Bellingham. Just want to pause it here 1 second. Where is our boxed? Hang on. Bellingham is our Gundogan. So let's just have a look at this again. The counter attack, though. The reason he's made that run is because it's a counter attack and the number 10 isn't there. Like, I don't really want him there. It's looking like a 4-2-3-1 deep is the only solution to this, unless this has to work. It's the only way it's going to work. But then, yeah, something like that maybe. But we're here to Dortmund. Lodi to Pedri. Pedri is going to play into Bissouma. Bissouma to Diop. Lodi whips it in Ireland, and it's away. Counter press was good. Protection's awful. Get back in your position, centre back. It just looks so spread, doesn't it? The back, Christ. Ball right hand side. Lamo is going to play it back to Musiala. Good defending. Now hold on to the ball. Don't just ping it clear. Bayan, get off the ball. Get off the ball. Oh, what is he doing? Wow, deep line playmaker Bellingham decides to get all the way down. Yeah, that was bad. Mentality, it's an option. Only to positive though. I think with the tweaks we've made, it's been all to do with it being an attacking mentality. So I don't want to do that. That's the last thing I'll do because I've tried to tweak it into this, and that would reset a lot of things. Oh, and it's a goal. Good. It's a deal with the corner. Push on, make it 1-0, and that's good. Good for us. We've looked a little more balanced as a team. We get a cheap goal from a corner, which we'll take, but having big centre back seems to help us, as it did with Dortmund in real life. Not as prone to the counter, are we? And they're playing two strikers left up, so that's our kryptonite. Oh, Erling Haaland, surely 2-0. He's onside. Thank you very much, linesman. That is 2-0. What's your number? No. You've got to be joking. Well, it's offside. Andre Silva has it, plays it through to not Eden Hazard, and that's blocked shots. Right, the ball. Interesting, right? They get through Bakal, Diop, Bellingham. So I just wanted to see this. Diop's going to run. That's fine. This happened as well. The Dortmund centre-backs would pass. That is a risky pass, though. Christ. Plays into Pedri. Now, why is Pedri holding off so much there? Why do we win the ball? I just want to see what Pedri is when we win it. He's there, right? Yep. I think he has to change his role. As much as I like the playmaker role, that cannot happen. And it must be a playmaker issue, that. It must be. Unless we take off run from position first. I'm trying to make as minimal changes as possible to certain roles because we're changing other stuff. So I don't want Pedri to have to change role if I can avoid it. But that is an exact situation where we're going to struggle if he isn't supporting the striker quicker there. He has to. I just want to see that again. Did he drop deep again then too much? They lose the ball. Where did they lose the ball? Where's Pedri when we lose it? This is the important thing. So we win it back here, and Pedri, he's too close here. He needs to be further up. He literally cannot put the mentality, I don't think, any higher. Look at this drop in here. He has to get out now. So what we've learned there is now the playmaker role is definitely incorrect with the current central fielder roles that we've got. The way that they're combining means that he drops way too deep there, doesn't he? So I don't care if this score, to be honest. We're learning a lot in this game. This is good. This is a really good game for us. Just going to wait till half time before the change is made, but Baku gets it to Maximan, to Bellingham. They're going to carry on. Sorry, this might be a goal actually. No, did it make my change for Pedri? No, it didn't yet. Okay. Right. Second half, we'll start it with him and Rome from position taken off, and we'll see if that makes enough of a difference. I thought it made the change already, but it hadn't. Let's see how that goes. Right here, Cobble collects it. Now, Pedri, what are you going to do with it? Get out, or are you there? Pedri, you're going to support the striker quick enough? You don't need to. Gets through now. He's close there. Now it doesn't matter. It ball's in different areas. It's more about the build-up is where he was an issue. Good football. Oh, unlucky. He's got the ball. Play out. And our second striker is there. He can defend though. It's like, oh, we're going to win it. Yes, Kingsley Coman, surely. Oh. I'm not a big fan of Kingsley Coman at the moment. It's another goal from a set piece. Bellingham come off and Dowd can go in. That's it. Plays it to Dowd's going to play it across. Is he? No, it goes all the way through. Lodi stays on it. And that's in the that. Corner. 3 goals from corner. What's going on here? We brought in Tony Pulis for this week. It is just like a default set piece routine that I have with mixed corners on. It's not like near post or trying to aim for an exploit. It's just where I roughly have players plus mixed corners. That's all it is. Nothing special. Take one of those, Leipzig. We'll take our second place back. Thank you very much. We rotated a little bit because we have Ajax next, but there we are. Oh, we got our budget for next season. Interesting. We get 30 million to spend for next season. How much extra wages is it though? So an extra 168 grand. Okay. I don't know if that's going to be enough yet, to be honest. The only thing that might happen, we could sell Haaland. He's world class, but we could sell him for like 120 and bring in like 4 first-team players with that. So it's unlikely. I don't really see myself selling a player who's got 43 goals this season, but it's just an option on the table. I'll see you in a second for the Ajax game. Okay, here we go then. Ajax Champions League quarterfinal, and it's gonna be a tough game. Yeah, we've sort of abandoned this sort of like league tactic and then like cup tactic. We're just going with the flow at this point. We're just gonna wing it. Just like the Barcelona save. The Barcelona save we did bad in Europe first season, but we won the league. Might be the flip this season. Hopefully, I say hopefully because we're not going to win the league, are we? So this is our only chance. System manager says media comments, so that's not a good sign. But he whips it in, and it's going to be far post Bellingham. And I doubt we'll do too many tweaks in this game, like to the tactic. This will be more about just trying to win the game because it's it's a knockout game, isn't it? Over 2 legs, but still a knockout cup game. It should be better though, because we already tweaked it from the last game. I hope it's better. Oh, they're in. Surely not. Surely not. Oh my goodness. 1-4. Ajax will put in far post, headed away. We're going to get pressure on the ball. Can we stop him playing it through? No. Christ. Cheers, Lodi, for your efforts there. Going to put red shirt on. 1 for Dortmund. Go and give us one back. Bellingham gets to it. Plays it to St. Just, to Bissouma, to Pedri, to St. Maximan. St. Just, oh my god. I hope he's offside. I think he's not though, is he? Right. Problems. I mean, I don't know what to give Royce. Like Royce's role, not Marco Royce actually, because he's not good enough in the game, but shadow striker, something like that. We're pressing forward and shadow striker for us now. This looks a bit better defensively. Shot on the goalkeeper. Force it long. Good. This might make us better defensively and win more balls on the counter. Pedri's actually linking up all right there as well. Backus, my only concern with the shadow striker. Yes, come on, 2-1. Good, Pedri linked up. My only concern with that is that he may not do that as much as a shadow striker instead of a playmaker, but he seems to be right there. Crossing far post, but it's always in isolation. It's when it's one game against one opposition, you can never tell too much. Okay, we're going to win the ball deep here. We're going to get to the ball here. I think on the left-hand side, they play it through. Oh, it's just lucky. Who is that chasing them out, though? Is that Bissouma? It is, isn't it? Bellingham, sorry, I meant to say. Haaland and Pedri linking up, all right. Good. Oh, that was good football. Some of the best link-up play I've seen from the 10 in striker so far this season in quite a long time. As they clear on the counter from the corner. You've got to get out to him. Oh, don't commit the foul there, Bellingham. And just does it, dribbles at the defence, or the midfield rather. Back out to Bellingham. Bellingham to Maximan, dribbles through on goal, plays it through to Erling Haaland to Musiala, plays a great ball in. Hopefully that's onside, we'll see. It's a brilliant goal if it is. Big goal this is. What a goal. The striker linking up, getting involved a bit more here. And yeah, gets a bit lucky to be honest, but our marker Roy says I'll have that. Thank you very much. 2-2. Say we can win this, keep working hard. Team stats wise, we're not doing that well, but so Bellingham. Oh, stick deflection. Is it going to count? I don't think it is. I think he was just offside. 3-2 to Dortmund. I don't know what happened there really. Was he playing on one side? We'll take that though. 3-2. Let's take Pedri off them, put on Reina. Going to take off. Well, let's make a couple of subs here. Beccao is a bit tired. He can come off, and we'll throw on Marin. And Bellingham come off, and we'll throw on Daoud. Free kick to Dortmund is so far out. There's got to be a corner highlight. Yeah. To the striker, we head it down. Baku gets to it. He's going to throw ball in. He is. It's so annoying. Like you change his pressing forward, so you then get all the benefits of the link-up play, but then you just lose those like balls in behind and the goals that you get. It's just so frustrating. You can't quite ever get that perfect roll, can you? It's almost like you need like a vanilla. Oh, it's going to be a goal. 4-2 to Dortmund. We'll take that though. Good performance in the end. Good turnaround after we changed to shadow. I mean, all we did was change to pressing forward and shadow striker, right? That's the only change we made. And we were 2-0 down, now we're 4-2 up without changing like, proper tactic. It's just the rolls really. Lots of calamitous like hits off the defender and stuff, but we'll take it. To St. Jude's, to Bissouma, to Reina, to Haaland, to Reina. Wow. It was nearly 2 great goals in the game. Should have gone defensive. I haven't though. It's 4-2 and they had the ball. I think Haaland's going to get to this. They get back and defend now. They're going to get to this. We're not. They're going to get through. Oh, they've messed that up. For fuck's sake. He didn't go defensive. That was my fault, really. Wow. I'll take partial blame. The fact that they can't defend for shit is also their own fault, some of these players. So one lads going in for us, but it is good because we take a goalie back home, but it could have been better. I was hoping that Chelsea beat Liverpool, but Liverpool just lost. Liverpool won 3-0 by the looks of it. Right, so the defending. I don't know what to do about defending. Like, they're just so bad. The firepower of the Dortmund team in real life from 2012 to 13. We have the firepower, we have the tenacity, we have the aggression and the pressing and all that stuff. We do not have the defending at all. That's the only downside to us at the moment. So that's going to be the episode. That was good. We learned a lot. We've changed a lot, which is also, I think, a positive because it needed to be tweaked a little bit. So we're going to come back for the Ajax game, the second leg, and we'll come back for the Wolfsburg game. So we'll have a Champions League quarter-final followed up by a German Cup semi-final and it could be Bayern in the final. And the league table currently does look like this for those of you that are interested still. They're 5 points clear with the game in hand, and we have to play them still away from home. So not the best, but it's got to be second this season. We can't do too much about it now. We've lost the opportunity to improve that, really. That's going to be the episode. Hope you enjoyed the series. It's been an improvement. I know it's been slightly slower going than the Pep say for like radical changes to improve it, but I think we're getting there. It's looking loads better from what I'm seeing anyway in the footage I'm watching back. And there are still tweaks to be made. This is going to be one that will go right down to like the last half of the third season, I think. So I like this a lot there in that one-off game. But again, it's a one-off game. We can't judge too much, but it looked so much better. He's looked much more natural. Like he still comes in quite narrow, doesn't he? Even though he's winger attack. It's probably because he's got that. We could remove that from Sir Maximan there. But all in all, it's going well. Recreation is improving in terms of realism. Results look slightly better. Just need to get better defensively and stop planning to use players like him at centre-back. But that's the episode. Thank you very much for watching. See you next time.